My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Fanatic, joined today by Tyson from Dolany TV. We're coming to you live from Cold Lake, where we have just learned the Edmonton Oilers have signed Olivier Rodrigue. Well, I guess I shouldn't say we just learned. We learned a period ago, but yeah, Tyson and I are down here covering the U15 female Tier 1 provincial championships, so couldn't get to this video as quickly as I wanted, but you did get a chance to check out Tyson's about a period of time ago. So
well, I'll tell you the funny part about that. I know as much now as I did then, so I'm hoping you carry the broadcast here.
Yeah, we didn't get any of the term details. We know it's 1 year re-sign for goaltender Olivier Rodrigue, 1 year, two-way. Cap Friendly is posting $775 right now, but that's an unconfirmed cap number, so I'm guessing somewhere probably in the $800,000, $900,000 range at most, I would think. So this is obviously a great re-signing here for the Oilers. We think Olivier Rodrigue will be Stuart Skinner's new backup next season, just because he does require waivers, and definitely based on the way he's played over this past year, putting him on waivers would be a risky proposition for the Oilers. You'd hate to lose a prospect you've spent years developing. Your thoughts, Tyson?
I'll tell you, watch the Calvin Carts situation over the summer, right? Obviously, kind of depending what the Oilers choose to do here with the goaltending, the depth within the organization, as we know with Unger signing and kind of some other situations, Brett Brochu being down in Fort Wayne, not on an AHL or NHL deal.
Yeah.
There's a little bit hanging out here in the Oilers goaltending department that could really start to take shape over the course of the summer. And I'm not saying Calvin Card's the odd man out, because I think we both would agree that it's Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
But depending on the direction the Oilers choose to go, right? I don't think you re-sign Picard. I don't think he's thrown back in the minors as the full-time starter in Bakersfield with Fanti and the whole works down there. So when you look at the whole situation here, are you really going to sign Picard to be back up at the NHL level, knowing, as you said, Rodrigue has waivers, eligibility? Well, you got to really make a decision here, and I think it's pretty clear by the Oilers making this move now, right? You don't often,
They've made their decision.
Yeah, you don't make your RFAs just kind of this much certainty this soon before the previous season is already over.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty clear the Oilers have already, quote unquote, like you said, made that decision.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Olivier Rodrigue contract isn't something you need to rush.
No.
Like, that could have easily been done in the summertime. So, yeah, I think this tells us a decision's been made. Because, like you were mentioning, they got Connor Unger, Ryan Fanti in Bakersfield, Brett Brochu, if he does get an AHL contract, could be the third guy there. So if Rodrigue and Skinner are your guys up here, is there really room for another Pickard? I mean, I guess it depends, because they could run with possibly Ryan Fanti as their third guy, Unger and Brochu if you need to bring somebody up. And I mean, and as we see, like, throughout the year, there's always goalies to grab off waivers, and you can find guys to sign. So they may even still sign another goaltender. I mean, Calvin Pickard re-signing isn't completely out of the question still. I mean, it's possible, but it's not looking that way with the situation that we know with Rodrigue.
No, and that's just it, right? It's the same way Picard came up and played his way to staying on the team. Rodrigue has played his way up all season, dating back to the end of last year, playing his way up to the NHL team. He's sat on the bench before, we know that, but he's never played a game in the NHL yet. And with the Ravers eligibility situation and secondary for the Oilers too, you got to get the kid a game at some point, and it's going to cost you putting him on waivers if you just want to test him out for one. So I think the easy decision here is everybody that has their issues with Skinner at times, yes, I understand it, but Skinner is going to be your starter for the next several years no matter what. And at some point you need to find a stable backup that just solves what's going on here with goaltending. Find that stable guy, and I think we know now today that it is going to be, at least for next year, Rodrigue playing his way into a full-time role with the Edmonton Oilers over the next year, 2 or 3.
Yeah, and like I was mentioning, with whatever number Rodrigue gets, I'm guessing somewhere in $900K at most, most likely less. Could be the new league minimum next year. There's always goaltenders to find. If the Oilers are going in and Skinner's struggling next year, Rodrigue's struggling next year, there's solutions to be made. And if you want to, around this time next year's trade deadline, if the goaltending isn't right where you want it to be, pick up a goalie for the trade deadline. You'll have cap space to do that with. So,
And we probably won't have Ken Holland as general manager. So for those of us that like big deadline deals,
Yeah.
we might get something around that time. Even if Rodrigue is the quote-unquote permanent solution, you might still get that organizational 3 that Picard's been, or you might get a bigger move, especially like you're saying, if Skinner and Rodrigue stumble throughout the year and the Oilers are winning games because Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman.
yeah. And I guess we haven't mentioned, I think you did bring up his name, but Jack Campbell, of course, is still out there for 3 more years, still on the books. But I think there's no way that he comes back next season. I just can't see any solution where he's the guy that joins Stuart Skinner. The Oilers need the cap space. He spent the majority of this season in the minors. It's time to move on from that, whether it's trade, whether it's buyout. So,
and you know what? That is not to discredit what Jack Campbell has done since his first 4 games in Bakersfield.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
that's the tough part. Is you're saying all that, and I'm like, but Campbell's been so good. The problem is the time has come and gone already, and like as soon as he was sent down, that is the last I think anybody wants to see a Campbell as an Oiler, just based on this is where it ended up, right? So you don't want to see this be another whole ordeal, and I think the Oilers are pretty much ready to tidy up the work here and get it done.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we got for Olivier Rodrigue right now. We got a game coming up here at 2 o'clock in about an hour and a half, Oilers-Ducks. Tyson and I will probably have something on that after the game, but for now, you've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan. Joined by Tyson from Delaney TV.
We're up on out here.
Take care, guys.